Hey Freedom Lovers, this is Dr. Peterson Pierre with America's Frontline Doctors bringing you today's Daily Dose. From birth, we're taught that vaccines were one of the most remarkable discoveries in history and were so safe and effective that many now unimaginable plagues vanished with few to no side effects occurring in the process. In truth, give or take, every part of that mythology is false, and remarkably similar vaccine disasters occur every few decades. Much of this results from the fact that it is very difficult to produce safe vaccines due to both their mode of action and the methods used in their production. As such, the best solution which could be found to this problem was to insist in lockstep that vaccines were safe and erase any memory that vaccine disasters had in fact occurred, thereby making it possible to gaslight anyone who was severely injured by a vaccine and claim their injury was just anecdotal or a product of anti-vaccine hysteria. However, brain injuries have been a long-standing problem of vaccination. For example, in 1982, NBC News program revealed that many parents were having children develop, quote, post-pertussis encephalopathy, end quote, after taking the DPT vaccine, that most doctors refused to report this, and that, quote, medical knowledge about severe reactions to the whooping cough vaccine goes back to the early 1930s. Report after report has been published in medical journals since then. In 1948, 2 American doctors reported on case histories of many children who had been brain damaged or died from DPT vaccines in Boston. The following year, another doctor surveyed pediatricians across the country and found still more. Those studies have been forgotten, end quote. Likewise, in 1985, one of the most popular talk shows in America, The Donahue Show, hosted a segment where doctors from both sides and neurologically injured members of the audience debated the risks and benefits of vaccination and the ethics of mandates, probably the last time an open debate of vaccination aired on mainstream TV. In both of these 1980s TV programs and many of the earlier studies on vaccine injuries, the brain-damaged children were described as becoming mentally retarded or severely retarded. However, in the 1990s, retarded began to be phased out due to it being deemed too stigmatizing, with Obama in 2010 signing a law that replaced all instances in federal statutes of mentally retarded and mental retardation with intellectual disability. Sounds just like the slickness that president was accustomed to. This is important, as it is commonly argued that the increase in autism is not due to an environmental toxin, meaning vaccines, but rather more and more normal things being reclassified as autism. However, as the CDC shows, roughly 26.7% of children have profound autism and is continually increasing. Likewise, when the 1986 Vaccine Injury Act was passed, it acknowledged a few specific neurological injuries that were frequently seen from vaccines, one of which was encephalopathy from MMR, which is now labeled as autism and not caused by vaccines. Remarkably, despite 12 new vaccines and decades of science since 1986, almost no additional neurological injuries have been added to the vaccine injury table. As there is, of course, a massive conflict of interest in acknowledging the injury and thus the government having to pay for it. In tandem, research into vaccine neurological injuries was systematically prevented. No surprise. Documented neurological injuries include Guillain-Barré syndrome, severe headaches, seizures, polyneuritis, nerve inflammation, and widespread nerve damage, acute meningitis, encephalitis, paralysis, microstrokes, and death. That's a pretty serious list. With vaccines, the same patterns keep repeating. Unusual neurological injuries, officials insisting vaccines are safe and effective, despite evidence to the contrary, and the medical establishment covering injuries for the greater good. Yeah, thanks a lot. Sadly, this has been going on ever since the days of smallpox, but due to the Make America Healthy Again movement, we at least have a chance to expose and end this cycle. Ladies and gentlemen, only the truth will set you free. Stay tuned for the next Daily Dose.